What's going on, Pixel Hackers? Christian Lovrecich from PixlFeed here. In this video, we're going to talk about how to build an ecosystem to get more sales. But before we get started, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive right in. So, as we move forward and with privacy becoming such an important thing online, with Apple putting all those restrictions and eventually it's all going to go to Google, everybody's going to start doing it. We're not going to have cookies everywhere where everything's tracked after 7 days. And even with the iPhone, you're not going to get that tracking back right away. Although most of the tracking is going to be blocked. So basically what it comes down to moving forward in the future is that you have to have multiple touch points everywhere in order to survive and to be able to make it in this new world. The days of throwing one product and relying on Facebook all day long, I personally believe are not going to be as profitable. I'm already seeing rising CPAs. So in order to battle that, you have to create an ecosystem for your brand. You have to create an ecosystem for your company. You can't just rely on one platform. So I'm going to go over how I'm doing it for my brands, how you should do it, and what works, and the tools that I use to do it. So make sure you pay attention. So obviously, the first thing that we're going to have as a brand or as a company, it's going to be, our website, right? /company, because this works for both, for e-com and for lead generation, or even sales for a brick and mortar company. But I'm going to go into details for both, so make sure you pay attention. So essentially our ultimate goal is to get sales. And how do we do that? What most of us do right now is throw up an ad on Google, throw up an ad on Facebook, and then rely on those ads to bring us all the traffic. We have gotten lazy when it comes to our marketing. Most people don't even bother with SEO because it's too expensive and it takes too long to get results back. But with all the tools that we have at our disposal and all the technology we have at our disposal, there's no excuse for you guys not to take advantage of it. So first thing you gotta have, even if most of the tracking is getting blocked, is you gotta have server-side API set up on your website, any website that you have, whether it's WooCommerce, Shopify, whatever. So server-side. What is server-side API? It basically sends the server information from your website back to Facebook or Google or any of them directly. It's not a JavaScript, which is a pixel. That's essentially what it is, a JavaScript. So it's direct information from your website back to the platforms that you're using. Okay, so we wanted to keep track of anybody that goes on our website, whether it's a lead generation website or e-commerce, and then we're going to track the most important points inside that website, the most important events, which is going to be view content, add to cart, initiate checkout, and purchase if you are in e-com. If you're in lead generation or you have a funnel for lead generation, obviously you're going to track view content and leads, right? Those are most important ones if you're doing lead generation. So if you're starting out, I will probably suggest you start with Facebook ads because it's my preferable advertising platform and that's what I'm good at. And it's the cheapest still compared out of all of them. And I believe it's still going to be the one that gets you the most results depending on what you're looking for. So let's say you start running ads, right? You got to remember, you're keeping track of anything that happens inside this website. But in order for you to save money, right? And to get more organic traffic and real traffic, we need to expand into more organic traffic avenues. How do we do that? So one thing, it's going to be, you have to take advantage of all the platforms. So you have YouTube, you have Instagram, you have TikTok, and I don't care if you're 12 or 45, TikTok is where it's at right now, and it's so much organic traffic, it's ridiculous. You got TikTok and you got Twitter. And I already know what most of you are going to say, oh my God, that's a lot of work. I don't have the time to be posting all this stuff, all this content online. Guess what? Everybody has the time to do it. I'm going to show you how you do it with the tools available that we have. Because I am amazed at the amount of brands that spend millions of dollars on advertising a year and they don't put up any organic content. Do you guys know that on every platform, the more organic content you have, your acquisition costs are going to be cheaper? For example, Facebook rewards you for putting out organic content, just like as they do with Instagram. So the more content you put out there, the easier it is for Facebook to optimize your ads, therefore cheaper conversions. All right, so how do we do that? Well, one of my favorite ways to do this is I like to hire a VA, a virtual assistant. And to find them, you can either go to Upwork or Fiverr, right? And you search for a virtual assistant in the Philippines, and you can pay them $3.50 an hour, $5 an hour. And believe me, it sounds like nothing, but in those countries, in the Philippines, the reason why I like hiring people for the Philippines is like their their culture is very they're very professional, and they're hard workers, man. They're so super nice. I love working with them, and I like to reward them the longer they work with me. So don't be one of those cheap people that only pays them $3 an hour, after they're with you for like 6 months or so. Bump up their pay to like $6 or whatever, right? But anyway, the thing with the Philippines, the VAs in the Philippines, you have to be very specific of what you need done. You have to give very specific instructions for them to get it done. Okay, but once you do that, I promise you, all your work will get done. You won't have any issues. Just make sure you take your time, interviewing. But anyway, you go to Upwork or Fiverr. You look for an assistant, a VA, virtual assistant in the Philippines. And then what you're going to do is you're going to also hire a VA. And this is, remember, I'm assuming you're getting sales from your paid ads with Facebook or something, or you're already making money, okay? So you got to invest in your brand. You got to invest in yourself to keep, doing better. So you're going to hire a VA, and you're going to hire a graphic designer, right? And a video editor. Video editor you can find from 10 to 15 an hour, all in Europe or the Philippines, even less. Same. EU, Philippines, right? And VA, Philippines, $3 an hour. So you're gonna hire your VA, you're gonna hire your graphic designer, and you're gonna hire a video editor. Okay. Now you're gonna have to put up a little bit of work. You're gonna have to shoot stuff yourself on your phone or with your camera, whether it's like product shots or you talking, creating some organic content. But here's the trick. You're going to get a tool like Slack. And for those of you that don't know what Slack is basically a tool where everybody can communicate. Your whole team can communicate. And you can actually create channels for each section of your company. So for example, if you go into my Slack virtual office, whatever you want to call it, you create your channels, and I have one for graphic design, I have one for video editing, I have one for my VAs, I have one for social media. So the way it works is you shoot your video, you shoot your product videos yourself, or hire somebody to shoot your product videos if you're doing products, but you can do it yourself if you're starting out. And what you do is in Slack, you send that video to your video editor, where they can create a 5-minute video that you're gonna upload to YouTube. And remember, every single video has to be formatted specifically for each platform, right? If you're doing video or I keep saying video, but it's video, pictures, or anything like that. So we're starting with video. You're gonna make it for YouTube, and then what you do is you have your video editor chop up that video into 30-second, 15-second increments that you can use in multiple platforms on your post. All right, and I know where you're getting at. I was like, how am I gonna post all this stuff? Trust me, there's a tool for that where it does it in all of them at once, in different formats and everything. I'm about to give you that. Okay, graphic designer, same thing. They can grab stills from that video, turn it into pictures, or they can make their own pictures for you, right? That can be put in every single platform, right? Now, here's where your VA comes in, right? And you're gonna use a tool called Later, right? And what Later is a tool that lets you schedule out your post, and it lets you post at the same time on every single platform. Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of them. You can literally go in there, schedule out the post. It even gives you the hashtags that you should be using on your post to rank organically, which is amazing. And it lets you pull ideas from other accounts that are kind of like yours, so you have ideas of what everybody else is doing. So you can have the VA do that. So this is how you take care of your organic content. Now, you're gonna start getting traffic from that organic content, believe it or not, probably in a week or two if you're doing it right. I recommend, if you can only start with one piece a day, then do one piece a day on every platform. Remember, all it takes is for your graphic designer to resize everything, load it up to later, and it goes on every single platform at the same time. And it actually gives you the data, what time you should be scheduling out your post, what day and what time. So after a couple weeks of you doing this, you're going to start, I promise you, you're going to start seeing organic traffic to come to your site. So now we're not only relying on Facebook and Google to get our sales or to get our leads. So that's number one. Organic will always live forever. Number two, the second thing that you want to do after you create your organic, your organic strategy right here is we're going to take advantage of influencers. Now, if you watch some of my videos on my channel, there's different platforms where you can hire influencers. One is called Shoutcard. You can go to the TikTok business side, influencer market, and you can hire TikTokers to make videos for you. Okay. One thing that works really, really well for me is I create a AWS server, right? Can't believe I'm giving you guys all of this for free. This is worth millions of dollars. AWS server. And what I do is I log into TikTok and the Instagram account. Why do I do it that way in the AWS server? Because the AWS server, when you log into the AWS server, you're not going to have the geolocation change. It's always the signal to Facebook and Instagram is always coming from the same place, whatever the server is located. The cool thing about AWS is that you can get the lowest tier, you get one for free. So you don't even have to pay for the server at first unless you're using it a lot. I still haven't paid for mine, and my VAs are on there all day long. So what I do is I give my VA a list of the hashtags that I want her to search that are most related to my niche. And then I have her log into the AWS server where TikTok and Instagram accounts are both logged in. Another reason why I do this is a security measure where they can't go in there and change the password because they don't know the original password. And, it's easier for me, I don't have to worry about them basically locking me out of my account, which, if you know what you're doing and you treat your employees right and everything, you're not going to have that issue. So anyway, so I have her go in there. And then what I do is I write a message contacting influencers. And the way that I do it is I give them a freebie. So people love stuff for free. So I go, it's just a generic message that says, hey, so-and-so, or if it's a girl, hey, gorgeous, here, I love the content that you're putting out. I think we can make a great collab between us where we'll benefit both of us. I would love to send you one of my X whatever for free, or offer you my service for free, or give you access to my tool for free. Where do you want me to send it? Just straight up ask them, what address do you want me to send it to? Or what email address do you want me to send it to? And you'll be amazed how many influencers are going to answer back and they're going to be like, yeah. Now, the trick here is to go after micro influencers. What's a micro influencer? Anybody with 15,000 followers on Insta and below. Now, the trick is to search for influencers on TikTok where they have tons of followers, and then go to the Instagram account. You're gonna be amazed how you go on TikTok and they have like 150,000 followers and millions of views on their videos, and then you go to Instagram and there's only 10,000 followers. The good thing about micro influencers for us as a brand is that they don't know their worth. Most of them don't know their worth yet because they value their self-worth based on the amount of Instagram followers that they have still. That's going to change soon. And once TikTokers realize that they have a lot of power with a lot of followers and they can charge a lot more, they will. With micro influencers, I paid anywhere from $20 to like $60 per post. It's not much, and it makes me, hundreds of sales. But here's the trick. So when I'm having my VA send all those messages, I have a document on my Google Drive, right? An Excel spreadsheet, and it has the name of the influencer, the number of followers on TikTok, Instagram, and then sent message, yes or no. Did they reply, yes or no? And then did we send them a piece, yes or no? If we send them something We give them specific instructions on how we want our post to be done. Show the product up front, make sure it's a story, make sure it's a post at 3 p.m., blah, 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 blah. You know, you got to ask them for the data. You got to ask them for case studies, right? If you're going to pay them. Most of them are going to do it for free if you just give them a freebie, the little ones. If you want to pay for some, are going to ask you to pay, but then that's where you got to do your due diligence and make sure you're not going to get screwed. So what you do is you keep track of all of this, and then after you send your products out, or give them access to your service, or give them access to whatever, make sure you follow up with them in a week or two and make sure that the post got done, make sure everything got done how you want it. Also, make sure you give them a tracking link. How do you do that? You can use a service like Bitly, where it's a URL shortener, but it's also you're able to track where the sales are coming from. Or if you're using Shopify for an e-commerce store, you can use Reversion, which is my favorite affiliate software. And Reversion keeps track of everything for you. You can even do the payouts on there. So if they're getting commissions based on what the sales that they bring you, they can cash out on there. So that works really well. All right. So that's how you do your organic strategy along with influencers. The other thing that people leave out is SEO, because SEO is hard, it's not easy, and let's face it, it's kind of boring, right? So how does SEO work? Search engine optimization, that's SEO. SEO is basically where you appear at in the web, right? And if you can rank on Google, right, on, depending on what the person is at, what they're searching for, you can rank on there, you're gonna get tons of amazing free organic traffic and sales. So if you can't afford to pay somebody to do the SEO for you and you don't know a single thing about SEO, there's a tool called Hike. Okay? Hike. And what Hike does is you plug in your website to it. I don't even remember how much it cost, but it was something dumb. It's not a lot of money. You plug your website in, and Hike literally takes your website and it gives you step-by-step instructions of exactly what you need to do to start ranking online to create organic content that's going to rank. So the first thing that it tells you is load up your competitors, right? Because you should always be stalking your competitors. So you load up your competitors, Hike's gonna analyze all of their data, and they're gonna go, okay, these are your competitors, what are your keywords? And you put in your keywords, boom, 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 boom. And it's gonna walk you through step by step how to do that. Once you give them the keywords, it's gonna give you, hey, I need you to create this content. You need to write a blog about this. You need to write an article about this. You need to do your tags. Like, it literally tells you exactly what you have to write, what keywords to use to start ranking. So 2 things. Either you can write the articles yourself if you have the time, if you're starting out. If you're starting out, you should have the time. You should be putting in the time to build your brand. If you got the money to pay somebody, guess what? Go back to Upwork or Fiverr and hire a copywriter, right? That can write articles for you. People will write articles for you. They can be in India and the Philippines. It doesn't matter. It's super cheap. So if you don't want to write it yourself. So once you follow the instructions on Hike and you create those articles, you're going to start ranking organically, depending on what people are searching for SEO. The second thing that Hike is going to do for you is it actually has an option in there that says, hey, all these bloggers are looking for this type of content. Top 10 ideas for this summer. What products should I buy for this summer? And you can actually submit content to people on BuzzFeed and stuff like that. And that's how you can get noticed with organic. All right, so make sure you get Hike to build your organic. Another service that I like, it's completely free. It's called Harrow, right? And I think it stands for Help a Reporter Out. Yeah, Help a Reporter Out. And what this does, you sign up for your niche, whether it's e-commerce or if you're a doctor or you're selling real estate or whatever it is. And reporters, you'll get an email every day from reporters saying, hey, I'm writing an article about this. If you've done this, if you do this or you do X, send your pitch. And you pitch them, and you'll be amazed of how many articles people will put you on. Like if you Google my name right now, there's a bunch of articles that come up. Most of them are from Harrow, from me helping a reporter out, from me submitting articles to them. So that's another one. Again, that is free because you're helping them out. The other thing that you can do, it's all about where you can get attention for the cheapest or for the less amount of money. So one little secret that a lot of people don't know because they don't think outside the whole digital one, even though this is digital, this is going to blow your mind. But there's a service called Blip Billboards. All right? And what that is, for as little to start with $20 a day, you can literally rent out a digital billboard that will put your ad in the middle of rush hour traffic. So what I love to do with that, I do that for both, for e-com and lead generation. And I'm gonna tell you how I track everything. So the first thing that I do is I go in there, and the price is gonna fluctuate depending on what city and how the traffic is and all that, and the time of the day and all that. So what I like to do is, like, if you go on their website, blipbillboards.com, you can actually go in there and see how much it will cost you to do a blip. It's called blip because your ad will show up for, like, I don't know, like 10, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute, depending how much you want to pay. But you can start with $20 a day. And I've gotten results with $20 a day. So what you do is you go on Google Maps and you actually search, you pull up the address where you're looking to put the billboard, and then turn the traffic on. And it's going to show you what the traffic is like on that road where that billboard is located, right? So when you do that and compare to Blip, you can literally put, okay, I want it to show up in rush hour because rush hour has the most traffic. So then you can see at what time of the day you get the most rush hour traffic going through that billboard, right? And that means most people are going to see it. Or if you don't want to put it on a main highway, you can always place it, somewhere that's not a main highway, outside, where it's going to be a little bit cheaper. But play with Google Maps to see what the traffic is like. And when you see what it's red during rush hour, that's the one you want to pick out. So now, how do we track those sales? Easily. What you do is, if you're doing e-com, you create your ad and then you give out a discount. Let's say 25% off. Use the code I4, I don't know, or I-95, whatever the road is, right? I-95. So now that sale came from that billboard. And trust me, guys, it works. If you're doing lead generation, then what you do is you can use a service called CallRail. Okay? And what CallRail does is you can get a digital phone number for dirt cheap, like a few bucks, right? And then it charges you, I think, by the minute, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I've done it. And what CallRail does is it gives you a digital number with a local area code. And then what you do is you put your billboard, like think of a lawyer. Call, you got an accident, call X 555-444, whatever. You put the number in, and guess what? If a call comes from that number, you'll know where it came from, so you can track it back to your billboard. So if you're getting all these leads from that billboard, guess what? Up the budget on that. It's just like an ad. So now you're getting traffic from that way, right? Another thing that I like to take advantage of, when it comes to like Shopify stores or like websites in general, like lead generation, funnels or website is, if you're on Shopify, there's SMS bump. And what that does, that follows up with people with text messaging. If you're doing a funnel for lead generation, there's another one that I like. It's called ClickSend. It's basically the same as SMS bump, but it's text messaging to follow up with leads and get them to follow up with them. Obviously, if you're doing that will be with your text. You can build audiences out of those numbers and upload them to Facebook, YouTube, Google, and all that stuff. All right, so obviously we got that. The other thing that you want to do, whether it's Shopify or a funnel or anything like that, is you want an autoresponder, email. I talk about email all the time with you guys, like the money's on the list. So if you're on Shopify, you definitely want to use, I run out of room, Klaviyo. And the cool thing about Klaviyo that most of you don't know, and it's amazing to me most of you don't know, is you can actually create audiences based on the behavior that happens on your site, right? And this is what I like Shopify. So for example, if somebody viewed a product, you can create a list out of that. If people who signed up for just a master list, you can have a master list. You can do a segmentation of your VIP list, the people that spend the most money on your site, and so on. Some people who abandon cart, and you can create flows and you can follow up with them. Well, guess what? These audiences, you can integrate with Facebook directly from Klaviyo, right? And when you do that, you can retarget those audiences with Facebook, which means cheaper conversions for your ads. Because remember, top of the funnel is going to be more expensive with everything that's going on, and it's getting more expensive. Supply and demand. The more demand there is, the less supply and the less tracking. It's going to be a lot more expensive to advertise on Facebook and Google and all that. So Klaviyo for that. If you're doing lead generation, you want to use ActiveCampaign. ActiveCampaign is the same thing. You can segment your audiences. You can create your flows, your backend flows, and everything like that. So once you set up this whole system in place, man, this is what I like to call brand domination. At this point, you're just not, running ads and try to get sales and, top of the funnel and that's it, and retargeting. It's good to start that way, but you got to think, you got to get into the domination mindset where you're going to dominate your competition, right? And if you start to do this, I will promise you, you will be successful at whatever, whether it's e-com or lead generation, all that. Because once you have all this organic traffic that is dead on and dead targeted on your brand or your service, when you retarget and get all that data into all platforms, your ad's going to be cheaper and you're going to get more sales. You got to remember, when you're running ads, top of the funnel, whether it's on Facebook or Google, whatever, you're giving Facebook and Google keywords or interest, and based on those interests, that doesn't mean that people are going to buy. You can create a lookalike out of the list, but it's never going to be as targeted as real organic traffic that comes to your store and buys right away. All that data is extremely valuable, and when you combine all of it, it can be very powerful. And this is how you can scale your ads. Not just with Facebook, but you start with Facebook and getting all this traffic. And once this is all in place, just for your influencers, you're gonna get some money back. It's ridiculous. And then little by little, expand into TikTok, Snapchat, and Pinterest for ads. If you don't know how to do it yourself, or you don't want to learn how to do it yourself, go back to Upwork. You can hire somebody to do it for you for dirt cheap. But remember, I know you guys are probably kind of overwhelmed watching this whole thing, right? But start little by little. You can't afford everything? Do your ads, get some money in. Then hire your VA for $3 an hour. And then start reaching out to influencers right away. I can promise you, just for the influencer strategy, you're gonna make mad cash. And that's gonna pay for everything else. And this is how you're gonna keep scaling your brand. So that is brand domination. Guys, I hope you liked this video. I hope you learned a lot. If you guys wanna keep learning about digital marketing, Facebook ads, and anything related to marketing, please check out one of the boxes right above me, and I will see you guys in the next video.